Virgo. Welcome to April 2019. My name is Colleen and this is my channel Arcana Rising. Please like, share, and subscribe. So I am going to be kind of quick with this one just because I'm afraid I'm going to lose daylight as best as I can. I am shuffling your cards and I'm going to lay out a spread. While I'm doing this, I'm going to talk about what's going on in the skies, and then at the end, I'm going to pull 3 oracle cards. Woo! I'm going to pull 3 oracle cards, kind of like my pick a card that I do on Instagram, which you should definitely follow. Arcana Rising is the name, and it's in the information below. So you can choose a card, and I will interpret it for you. Lots of fun. Okay, so Mercury went direct March 28th. Woohoo! So we're feeling a lot more clear-headed this month. But we're gonna have 3 outer planets going retrograde in the middle of this month and towards the end of this month. So it's good that we're gonna have our heads on our shoulders so that we can handle all the new shifts that are coming our way. So on April 10th, we're gonna have Jupiter going retrograde. On April 24th, we're gonna have Pluto going retrograde, which is really interesting which card just jumped out because Pluto kind of like comes up as the card that just jumped out to me right now, and I will bring that up in a moment. And Saturn goes retrograde on the 30th. So this feels like it's, definitely this month is about wrapping things up. I don't know if you listened to my yearly reading or watched it. Definitely check those out. I definitely brought that up in the beginning of this year, talking about how April and May feel like massively transformative months. There's going to be a lot of shifts coming. I know that we've been kind of experiencing changes in March, and it's going to continue in that direction just because, the universe is preparing us for stepping into a new phase of our lives. And in order to really step through this doorway, we have to put down the baggage that we've been carrying, basically. There's things we need to let go of. There's closure coming up, and things to that degree. There's just shifts that are occurring that we have to be ready for. Also, sorry about that. I have an app on my phone that reminds me to drink water because I'm pregnant and I have to drink like 1 million gallons of water. Anyway, so like Jupiter's energy over the last 6 months or so in Sagittarius, I think it's been almost 8. So yeah, about 6 months. It's really been showing us how to, be excited for life and see the possibilities and really see how far we can go with things, reaching for the stars in a way, with our dreams and what we aspire to do, and all the possibilities that are available for us. It brings us hope. It brings us luck. It brings us excitement and fun. And Saturn is kind of asking us, and Jupiter going retrograde, Saturn retrograde, are kind of asking us to kind of contain that expansive energy and get more focused on what it is that we're trying to do. So we're gonna feel that Saturn retrograde definitely in May, and in the following months, because these planets are going to be retrograde for quite a while. Yeah, this is the time for wrapping things up and, you know, embracing this change, this shift in direction, and then getting down to business and, you know, getting more focused, laying out plans for what it is that we're trying to do. So I hope that made sense. I forgot to okay, I just had to put a do not disturb thing on my phone now. Sorry about that. Okay. So, I just dealt out all the cards, so I'm going to angle the camera down. Okay, hopefully you can see that. So we've got a theme, a challenge, and 1, 2, 3, 4. You can think of it as like the weeks of the month, or like the first half of the month, the second half of the month. When it comes to tarot, time is kind of fluid, so you just kind of have to take it with a grain of salt and understand that these energies kind of blend in together with each other. Hey Google, next song. Not really a fan of the flute right now. Okay, so here's what we're doing. Let's take a look at the theme. Okay, so the theme is the Six of Pentacles, and it feels like this is bringing to our attention our need for balance when it comes to giving and receiving our personal time and energy in any situation. You know, finding the balance in our lives so that we're not overextending our energy, and, you know, we're not being extremely reserved either. Hey Google, volume down. Sorry, it's like super loud. It's also kind of asking you to pay attention to your finances as well. Just making sure that you're not overspending or being like overly, you know, super reserved with your money, is like putting fear on that money as well. But it's saying there's an energy exchange with everything, so the more generous you are with what you're able to offer, the more you're going to get back, because that is the way of the universe. I do really feel like this is mostly having to do with your personal time. Like, I'm really hearing time and energy, not necessarily finances. I know that this is a Pentacles card, but it's feeling more to me like this is more about your personal energy levels and your time. So where you're putting your energy and where you're putting your focus this month seems to be an important theme here in you know, deciding where to go and, you know, what to do in life. Okay, yeah, so this is the card that I was talking about with Pluto retrograde. This card like flashed in my mind when I was talking about Pluto in the previous reading. This is the Tower card, and it's in the challenge position. So I feel like there's going to be some major shifts, like major sudden shifts occurring this month. And it's important to pay attention to your energy and, you know, where, like, what you're doing with your time this month and where you're placing your energy this month while these shifts are occurring. Because I feel like you could easily exhaust yourself trying to do too many things, and I feel like this is what's coming up with this challenge with the Tower card. I mean, the Tower is really basically it's clearing the slate, you know, and it looks dramatic and scary, but it's tearing down a structure that has a really weak foundation, so that you can rebuild a stronger, so you can just rebuild a stronger structure, in your life, whatever that may be. And I feel like in the process of understanding that something needs to be, you know, cleared away so that you can rebuild it, I feel like your energy and your time is going to be really sporadic this month, and you're not really, like, your plans may get shifted, your schedule may get crazy with work, you know, people may be asking a lot of you, and you may feel like you're not getting that much in return. So it's important to know your boundaries here. It's important to, I mean, like, if you can get a planner, that would be great this month. If you can work with the calendar on your phone, that would be awesome. Like constantly setting reminders for yourself so you can get organized. And I feel like that really usually isn't an issue for Virgo, but I feel like that's what's going on this month for you. Because I feel like it's going to be a stressful month, and you want to make sure that details aren't being missed. You want to, like, I feel like you're going to want to make sure you have everything under control. So I feel like working with your phone and setting reminders for yourself and entering things into your calendar is going to help ease a lot of stress that could possibly come up this month, in regards to, like, handling your time. Okay, so we have the King of Wands here, and he's very dominating. He's very, he's a fire sign, definitely, and he, like, has this ambitious energy that really wants to take over in a way. I feel like dominating is the word here for King of Wands, and I'm just gonna get a clarifying card here to get more information for the King of Wands. Please show me King of Wands energy for the first quarter for Virgo, please. So, and I feel like he's very powerful. He's got a good head on his shoulders, but he sometimes becomes overly ambitious with what it is he wants to do. There we go. Well, we got two. Okay. So that could be something to be cautious of, not taking on too much in the beginning of this month. We have the Knight of Cups and the Four of Cups in reverse here. So I feel like, okay, so the Knight of Cups here, he's very much a lovey-dovey guy. You can think of him as Romeo. He does grand gestures of love for others, or any other emotion is extreme. You know, he goes way over the top. Like, instead of just, like, extending, like, a heartfelt note to somebody, he, like, pours his soul out, you know what I mean? Or smothers someone, you know, basically. And then the Four of Cups is, you know, feeling overwhelmed, or doesn't want to take on more than he already has taken on, or isn't seeing the possibilities that is available to him. So in this way, I feel like you could be shutting down emotionally, or bringing up, like, some jealous energy here, So, I mean, the King of Wands is so super fiery and dominating and ambitious. It could easily turn your emotions into, you know, not so great emotions, jealousy, envy, like things that kind of feel fiery in a not so great way, aggression, irritability, you know, shutting people out, or being emotionally dramatic about something that upsets you. And then we also, I feel like this Four of Cups reverse is saying that you are open to taking in more. So maybe you're taking in more. Yeah, so that makes sense because you want, with this ambitious energy, you think you can handle more emotionally, but really it's too much for you. It's too much for you. So something is happening, like you're feeling the fire lit under your ass in the beginning of this month, and you think you can handle something intense that could be going on. Maybe someone is coming to you to be consoled, and maybe it's just they're asking for way too much support, and then that becomes you know, too much for you. Or maybe you aren't feeling appreciated, or are feeling envious, or some other negative vibe emotion, and that is making you feel overwhelmed. Yeah, so that's pretty interesting in the beginning of this month. Let's see what we got next. Oh, this freaking card. This card has come up for so many others. We have the Nine of Wands here. So I feel like this is saying, this is where you're starting to feel like you're getting close to the finish line, but you're also kind of wondering if you should continue forward. Because you're like, now you're getting into defensive mode, still continuing with this fiery energy. He's got a bandage on his head, and he's got all these wands here, and it feels like those are his, I mean, this is gonna sound weird, but it feels like these are his trophies from all of the battles that he's won, and he's ready to take on more if he's got to, but he is exhausted. Maybe he's unsure if he can really, you know, handle another fight. So, I mean, I'm feeling like there could be a level of anger that's coming up on, you know. Yeah, so there could be anger coming up because you aren't really playing well with others this month. So, like, really be careful about how you are interacting with other people this month. I feel like maybe you think you can take on the emotional baggage of other people, and then it becomes too much, and it turns into this dramatic thing, you know, an emotional, reactive, dramatic thing that can result in some kind, like, I feel anger with this. I'm not really sure why, but I'm feeling anger with this, and I'm feeling like if I gotta put up another fight, if I gotta go through another fight, I guess I'm going to. But do I really want to? I think I'm done with this. You know, whatever I've been working really hard to get to where I am, and I don't need your help. You know, those kind of things are coming up because we have the Three of Pentacles in reverse, and this is really about, you know, the inability to work with others and, you know, making something come together for a mutual benefit. So accepting help seems to be really important in the second quarter of the month here. So just making sure that you are not taking on too much in the beginning of this month, because then you're going to exhaust yourself and think that you have to continue doing things on your own and handling all this stuff on your own. And then it's like you've helped other people, and now you're getting really stressed out because you thought that you could take on all this stuff, which is the giving part. And then when it comes to receiving help from others, you're refusing it, thinking that you can handle it all on your own, even though you are exhausted and getting frustrated. So just be mindful of that. Be open to, accepting help and saying thank you, because, just think about how good it felt to help other people this month. You're doing these people a favor by letting them help you, and they're doing you a favor by helping you. You know what I mean? Because they're going to feel good, you're going to feel good, and in the end, it's all going to work out. So we have the Queen of Swords here in the third quarter, the third week of the month. And this talks about, facing the truth of some situation, coming to terms with the truth, in a way that may feel a little bit harsh, but it's like you have to hear this without emotion. We're getting right down to the honest, blunt truth of things. This could be hearing something that you don't want to hear from specifically a female figure. Could be a Gemini, could be an Aquarius, could be a Libra. But I always think of Gemini when I see the Queen of Swords. So, keep that in mind for this month. So you may be dealing with a Gemini that is, showing you the way, like something about showing you the way and towards the truth. Showing you the way towards the truth. Whoa. Okay. So the Hierophant came up, and as a clarifying card, and this is telling me that the truth comes through community. The truth comes through, so this feels like a very Taurus card. The truth comes through, okay, so like structure, tradition, community, connecting with the higher self also. But then there's also a level of stubbornness that's coming in here, because she's so blunt and then he's so structured in his traditions. There's no flexibility here at all. So maybe this is all about dealing with this Tower shift here and this unwillingness to let go of what you are used to, the comfort of the traditions that you've created for yourself, or habits that you've created for yourself, versus seeing the truth. You know what I mean? It's like your comfort versus the truth really is what's going on here. Or, this could also be saying, whatever truth is being presented to you brings you closer to your community, brings you closer to your tribe in a way, or helps you to understand something about yourself on a more spiritual level as well, getting you more connected with your spiritual side, but I'm feeling it's more about community here. The community is coming together over some kind of truth that you've been presented with this month. Okay. Ten of Swords in reverse. So when I see the Ten of Swords in reverse, this is all about getting your power back. By releasing old wounds and old ways of thinking. So maybe you're understanding that the way in which you have, maybe the way in which you communicate with your community maybe wasn't the best, which makes sense because this is all about, like, you know, taking on too much. I feel like other people are coming to you with some really heavy emotional stuff and you think you can handle it, and then you're getting overwhelmed, and then that's creating frustration, and then people are coming offering help and you're refusing the help, and you don't want to work with others, and you think you're going to have to continue working on your own, doing everything by yourself. And then this truth comes in about, you know, doing everything by yourself, or connecting with community and understanding the balance of the giving and the receiving, and the beauty that is within the connection of community. So this, you know, this truth, the truth of, you know, the truth of community brings you to a more spiritual level, you know, gets you more connected with who you are on a different wavelength, if that makes sense. And then there's that understanding that you don't have to do everything on your own, you know, so that, you know, that truth gets released. And whatever other self-sabotaging ways of thinking are going to be released towards the end of the month, because then you start realizing that maybe the way in which you've been living your life may not have been as, you know, beneficial as you thought it was. Maybe there's a better way of going about achieving what it is that you want to achieve in life, and that is through the help from other people, the connection of your community, you know, learning more about the people around you. This could be family as well, family traditions, you know, maybe understanding there's a different path for you that breaks this generational tradition of having to do things a specific way. Maybe understanding that maybe, you know, that doesn't work for you. But I feel like this is all about realizing that it is okay to ask for help and to lean on your community during, you know, tough times in your life. And that helps to bring a sense of power back as well. So this card came up again, and earlier I kind of put it back in the deck. So I have another one of these decks, and I saw this sitting out, and I thought it was a part of this one, so I put it in here, only to find out that there already was one in this deck, which is right here. So it's come up again, which I will remove after this reading, but it feels like it's still continuing to be really significant for you this month, so I'm going to include it within your reading. This is the Three of Pentacles, again, in reverse. And, you know, you're releasing all of these self-sabotaging thoughts around the idea that you cannot ask for help, that you have to do everything on your own, that, you know, this inability to work with others is being released, you know, and this new phase that you're going to be going into is, you know, a stronger connection with the people who matter to you, you know, a stronger family connection, stronger connection with friendships, with coworkers, and you may even be meeting new people in your town as well. And this is all a beneficial process of giving and receiving here that's going to raise everybody up. And I feel like that's where you're going with the rest of this year, understanding that it's okay to come out of your shell and meet more people, work with more people, you know, being open to doing things in a way that maybe you would have wanted to. Like it's almost like letting go a level of control here as well. You know, refusing help and thinking that you have to do everything on your own is definitely you know, connecting to this feeling of like, you know, I have to be in control of everything. So if I'm going to control everything, I can't have other people like getting in on this or whatever. You know what I mean? So when you ask for help, you're letting go of the reins, and everything will work out just as well as, you know, if not better than doing it on your own, because then you're able to take care of yourself also. So I feel like this is like a little bit of learning to lean into community and understand that everyone has something wonderful to offer. Okay, so take a deep breath. And place your focus on one of these three cards. Which one feels like it's connecting with you the most? And I want to go through all three. Okay, so we have be spontaneous. So this is letting go of that control. Let go of that control to have everything structured in your life and give in to the spontaneity that life has to offer. And that's going to, you know, really release a lot of tension when it comes to, you know, shifting with these changes that are coming up, and get you back into your joy as well and into that go with the flow vibe. And it's going to make it easier for you to you know, let go of those reins, you know, in different areas of your life, and, you know, understand what you are and are not able to handle more accurately as well. So be spontaneous. Open your heart. So this is, you know, this makes total sense. This is all about vulnerability, totally. And that makes perfect sense with what's going on here. You know, not accepting help from others is closing you off to more love. You know what I mean? Is closing you off to the love that other people have to offer you. So when we talk about vulnerability, I feel like, you know, in this situation, especially trying to control everything and thinking that you have to do everything on your own, you may see this as a sign of weakness, but it's more a sign of strength in being comfortable enough with yourself to open your heart up and trust others. Seek beauty. So I feel like this is a great way of also getting into that heart opening energy this month. You know, going outside and getting grounded, especially when you are kind of feeling in this whirlwind of not being able to handle everything. Or, you know, if you're feeling overwhelmed at any point, it would be great to go outside and get some fresh air, or even bring some flowers and other plants into your home getting yourself reconnected with nature, and stopping to smell the roses and being in the present moment, instead of focusing on 50 million things or the future or the past or anything like that. It's really going to be beneficial to just stop and get into a meditative state and just focus on the beauty that's in front of you. It'll be easier to let go when you're feeling like you have to control everything, and including like restricting your own personal emotions as well. And I wonder if that's why this was coming up, and about time and wanting to have like massive control over your time in the beginning of the month, because there's going to be so much going on and you're not sure how to keep up. But I feel like at the end of the day, it's really more about like being open to delegating tasks, being willing to say no on taking on other people's stuff, like setting boundaries, but also, opening yourself up to, to others as well. You know what I mean? If people are going to be coming to you with some heavy stuff, it's okay for you to come to them with your heavy stuff. You know what I mean? And like share the load. You know what I mean? If it's okay for them to do that with you, it is absolutely okay for you to do that with others. So just keep that in mind this month. It's going to be really, I feel like you're really going to feel this fieriness in the first half of this month. And then towards the end of the month, it's like going up into your head, and like having these realizations and like wisdom setting in, and then like releasing old ways of thinking, and going into May kind of retraining yourself to being open to asking for help, and being open to accepting help, and being open to working with each other, and leaning on community and connecting with others on a deeper level. So it sounds stressful, but in the end, it's a very positive shift. So that is your message for this month, Virgo. I really hope that you enjoyed this reading. Please, please, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. Check out my Instagram. I'm always posting stuff at Arcana Rising. And I send you so much love, and I will see you in May. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.